Hey guys, how's it going? It's 8-Bit Eric. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about one of my most anticipated games of this console generation, the Medium on Xbox Series X. As of this video, it is a exclusive for the Series X, which I think was really important for Xbox to get. This game caught my attention the minute it was revealed. When I saw the reveal trailer, I was like, all right, that's something that I have to check out. I'm typically a scaredy cat when it comes to horror games. I'm like, all right, I jump scare easy. I'm a chicken. I don't like to be scared too much, but this one enticed me enough to where as soon as I found out it would be a day one Game Pass game, I was like, all right, we're going to preload that baby and we're going to play it. So I hopped on it. I live streamed it for a few hours, and then the last couple days I've been playing it nonstop. It is a very interesting premise and a very interesting game that has a very dark atmosphere. Now, by the title The Medium, you would guess you play as a medium who basically keeps in contact with spirits of the other world, people that have passed and died. And that's what the whole concept of this game is. There's a little bit of a mystery feel behind it, and it's actually I guess more narrative based than anything. I will say right off the bat, the one thing that was a little I guess disappointing is that this game is not combat heavy at all. This was on one observation that we made in my live stream between me and my chat. We're like, wow, there's really no combat. There's really no way of like fighting creatures. It's not like a Resident Evil or a Silent Hill. It's a little bit more narrative paced and puzzle paced. There's a lot of puzzles involved with progressing in this game. Now, before we get into the gameplay mechanics, let me tell you guys the plot. Overall, you play as a medium who is able to interact with two different worlds. This game has a weird concept where there's two different dimensions that are simultaneously going on at the same time, and you're able to traverse between both. Sometimes you simultaneously play in both of them at the same time, like in a split screen format. So there's the real world and the spirit world. You have some kind of visions of a child's murder that are like haunting you, and you travel to a hotel resort where this murder has happened. Many years ago, there was some kind of tragedy that struck, and now as a medium, you are going to find out what happened. It's your search. It's like an emotional, paranormal search for the truth of what happened in the past. So yeah, as I mentioned, this game's gimmick is that you have access to both parallel worlds. And one chief complaint I saw people say, aside from the lack of combat, is the way the graphics looked in this game. So this is actually one of the first games that has been fully developed for next gen. And a lot of people are saying the graphics that you see in this game are really last gen. There's no way to really see a difference between if this was on the Xbox One or the Series X. And I have to say, there are moments in the game where I'm like, wow, this looks really good. Especially like the opening moments when you're in the forest and you're walking through it and you see like the opening cutscenes of the game and you're getting acquainted to it. I was like, wow, this looks really good. And then there's parts of the game where the graphics start to look kind of iffy, and I feel at times they kept the environment of the game dark to kind of cut corners to the graphics not being I guess so next gen looking. Somebody in my chat said the graphics look poor. I wouldn't go that far to say the graphics look poor. To me, when you see poor, that's like a grade of an F. I would say that they are satisfactory, but they definitely could use some improvement. There are little instances, especially in the cutscenes, where I'm like, okay, this looks pretty good. But when you're playing in the actual game and there's certain moments and you're in the hallway and stuff, there are times where it kind of looks a little last gen. I'm not going to be too hard on the game for that though. I do think as far as an atmosphere goes, this game captures it perfectly. There's times where I'm like, wow, this is creepy. What is this lady doing? Walking in this dark hallway. And there's moments where there's like attention to detail, like in the environment. And then on top of that, the music. There's a dual soundtrack in this where the real world has its own soundtrack and then the spirit world has another one. And it's made by two different composers. One of them is actually Akira Yamaoka. I'm pronouncing my Japanese wrong, I'm sorry. From Silent Hill. So one of the composers of Silent Hill actually contributed to the soundtrack of this game. And I have to say, the best part of the medium is the soundtrack. There are moments where it just makes you feel very uneasy and unnerving. Trust me on this one. Now, a big part of this game includes hiding from a big, like, spirit demon that you run into earlier on in the game. I'm trying to avoid too much in way of spoilers, but there's moments where you have to kind of hide from him, and sometimes he's attacking you from the other dimension. He's able to, like, kind of cross over, kind of like Freddy Krueger in a small way, where you have to, like, silently, I guess stealthily crawl and kneel and hold your breath and hide between, you know, cabinets and different pieces of furniture so he doesn't find you. So there are elements of stealth in this game, but I would say more than anything, there is a lot of puzzle elements, which is traditional in horror games. You'll find a lot of, like, simple puzzles where you have to find some kind of, like, energy source in the spirit world in order to activate a switch that opens a door in the real world and stuff like that. So you find yourself using mirrors to go back and forth between both spirit worlds to solve these puzzles. None of them were too entirely difficult. Again, after I realized that there wasn't much in way of combat, I really didn't get scared anymore. The jump scares weren't half bad either. If I was to describe the feeling of this game, I would say it's more like a mystery type of game, almost like a detective type of feel around a very creepy and eerily environment. It's not a survival horror game by any means. There is some violence, there's blood, there's a little bit of sexual themes, some strong language, but it's not where you feel like you're entirely in danger at all. Like, honestly, I feel the game could have been a lot scarier, but it's not like an Outlast 1 or 2 or even a Resident Evil or Silent Hill in terms of scariness. It's more mysterious and creepy than anything. Definitely a lot slower paced than I had anticipated. So it might not be everybody's cup of tea. This game kind of has like a slow simmer as you progress through this hotel resort. Your character finds these masks. You find these bodies in the spirit realm, and you're able to cast them off, like send them away peacefully to the other side. You have to solve puzzles, find their names, find their mask, place it on them, and send their spirits away while trying to figure out the main plot of the child's murder. And then the puzzles and all that. The puzzles are okay. I would just say if you were expecting to have something a little bit more action-packed with some combat and some real frightening jump scares and stuff, you might be slightly disappointed in the medium. But overall, I was somewhat impressed. Now, I will say this game is kind of short. It's not long at all. I would probably say like maybe like 12 hours tops if you look at everything and play through it, but you could probably get through it in less than 10. So as far as the medium goes, if I was to actually rank it and give it a ranking on the 8BE game grading scale, the 8BE GGS for short, I would probably say it's a solid 7.5. It's not disappointing by any means at all. There are a little bit of limitations. It's kind of like a rinse and repeat. You know, you go one area, you have to find a way to open a door or trigger something and get past a blocked area going through both dimensions. But at no point did I feel like I was in danger. So it kind of took away the whole anticipation of it being something really scary to play for me. It's by no means a bad game, but it's not one of the greatest horror games ever made. It's not a Silent Hill or a Resident Evil. So not that bad. It's on Game Pass, so there's no real loss if you have a Game Pass membership to check it out. It is worth a look. You might like it. Anyways, guys, thanks a lot for watching. As always, I appreciate you guys coming to the channel. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much. Consider supporting 8-Bit Eric on Patreon for just $1 a month. Link below in the description. You want to become part of the hashtag 8BE Nation, guys? Well, be sure to pick up your official merch, now available online. Link is below in the description. We got classic t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, and even women's apparel. Don't forget, pick up your official merch now. And while you're at it, guys, feel free to watch the next video, or why don't you catch up on one that you might have previously missed. Thanks again, guys, for all the support. I couldn't do this without you. You guys are amazing, and don't forget to subscribe and click that like button if you are brand new. Thanks again, guys. Peace out.